Hello and welcome to K News. This is Hardik Trivedi. Let's have a look on what is happening in India and in the world. Marathon European Union talks to agree an unprecedented 1.85 trillion euro EU budget, and coronavirus recovery fund entered a third day Sunday, with German Chancellor Angela Merkel warning that the summit of 27 leaders could still end without a deal. The bitter negotiations which are taking place amid the unprecedented crisis of the coronavirus pandemic have underscored the deep fissures within the 27-nation bloc, with the traditional Franco-German alliance struggling to get its way. There will be a solution. I still cannot say, Merkel said as she arrived early for the extra day of talks at what had been planned as a two-day summit in Brussels. There is a lot of goodwill, but there are also a lot of positions, so I will join the working for it. But there may also be no result today. Merkel and French President Emmanuel Macron walked out of heated talks late Saturday with a group of nations led by the Netherlands pushing to limit the amount of grants given to countries whose economies have been hardest hit by the pandemic, and to impose strict conditions on how the money is spent. Amid the political firestorm in Rajasthan following Sachin Pilot's rebellion, senior Congress leader Kapil Sibal on Sunday called for amending the anti-defection law to ban all defectors from holding public office for 5 years and fighting the next election. Sibal also said that the antibodies against the virus of corrupt means to topple elected governments lie in amending the 10th schedule of the constitution. These attacks come in wake of Pilot's open rebellion against the Ashok Gehlot government, which has been on shaky grounds since, with at least 18 legislators backing the rebel leader. Pilot was sacked as Deputy Chief Minister and the State Congress Chief earlier this week. The Congress has accused the BJP of making efforts to topple the Gehlot government by indulging in horse trading. Need for vaccine, virus of corrupt means to topple elected governments has spread through a Wuhan-like city in Delhi, Sibal tweeted in an apparent swipe at the BJP. Its antibodies lie in amending the 10th schedule, ban on defectors from holding public office for 5 years, fighting the next election, he said, taking a swipe at Pilot over his claim that he is not joining the BJP. Sibal on Thursday had asked what happens to his Ghar Wapasi and whether Rajasthan's descendant legislators are vacationing in Haryana under the watchful eye of the Saffron Party. Former Rajasthan Deputy Chief Minister Sachin Pilot has appealed to the people of the country to extend support to those affected by floods in Assam and Bihar. Pilot's appeal comes amid the raging political firestorm in Rajasthan, where he has declared an open rebellion against the Ashok Gehlot government. Pilot was sacked as Deputy Chief Minister and the State Congress Chief earlier this week. My thoughts and prayers with all those families affected by the Assam and Bihar floods. Over 68 lives lost and 3.6 million people affected in Assam alone, Pilot tweeted on Saturday. I appeal to all Indians to come together, join in the efforts to help support those affected in this extreme flood situation, he said. Floods have hit over 27 lakh people in 26 of the 33 districts of Assam and destroyed houses, crops, roads and bridges at several places. The tweet by Pilot was his first in 4 days. His last tweets were on July 14, the day he was sacked from both the posts. Three of the 10 most valued companies added a total of rupees 98,622 crore to their market valuation last week, led by stellar gains in IT major Infosys. 7 companies from the coveted list witnessed a decline in their market valuation last week, but their cumulative loss of rupees 37,701 crore was less than the total gain made by 3 firms: Reliance Industries Limited, Hindustan Unilever Limited and Infosys. The market capitalization of Infosys zoomed rupees 52,046 crore to rupees 3,85,027 crore. Shares of Infosys had rallied over 9% on Thursday after the company posted a stronger than expected 12.4% rise in the first quarter consolidated net profit. Hindustan Unilever Limited added rupees 25,751 crore in its market valuation, which stood at rupees 5,48,232 crore at close on Friday. Reliance Industries market capitalization jumped at rupees 20,824 crore to rupees 12,11,682 crore. In contrast, HDFC's valuation plunged rupees 13,920 crore to rupees 3,13,269 crore, and that of Tata Consultancy Services declined rupees 7,617 crore to rupees 8,26,031 crore. The valuation of ICICI Bank tumbled rupees 4,205 crore to rupees 2,29,156 crore, and that of Kotak Mahindra Bank by rupees 4,175 crore to rupees 2,62,864 crore. In the ranking of top 10 firms, Reliance was the number 1 rank, followed by TCS, HDFC Bank, HUL, Infosys, HDFC, Bharti Airtel, Kotak Mahindra, ITC and ICICI. Congress leader Rahul Gandhi on Sunday attacked the BJP and accused it for institutionalizing lies over COVID-19 deaths, GDP figures and the Chinese aggression at the border. Hitting out at the BJP over the rise in the number of deaths due to COVID-19, he said India will pay its price when the illusion is shattered. BJP leader and Union Minister Gajendra Singh Shekhawat hit back, saying India paid a huge price for the illusion that the Gandhis had created for decades. He also attacked Gandhi for wishing ill for the country. BJP has institutionalized lies, COVID-19 by restricting testing and misreporting deaths, GDP by using a new calculation method, Chinese aggression by frightening the media. The illusion will break soon and India will pay the price, Gandhi said in a tweet. He tagged a news report on the coronavirus situation with his tweet. Responding to Gandhi, Shekhawat said in a tweet, India paid a huge price for the illusion that the Gandhis created for decades. Despicable for you to wish ill for the country. Your vicious intentions get hopelessly displayed each time you try and mock Indians, but not anymore. The Congress on Sunday said Gajendra Singh Shekhawat must step down as the Union Minister so that he cannot interfere in any investigation into the leaked audio tapes in which the Bharatiya Janata Party leader is allegedly heard conspiring to topple the Rajasthan government. Congress spokesperson Randeep Singh Surjewala had briefed the media on Friday about the existence of the tapes where BJP leaders, including Union Minister Gajendra Singh Shekhawat, can be heard conspiring with rebel MLAs from the Sachin pilot camp to topple the Ashok Gehlot-led government. Surjewala's allegations were refuted by Gajendra Singh Shekhawat, who represents Jodhpur in parliament. He also demanded a probe to verify the authenticity of the audio tapes that have gone viral on social media. The BJP has also dismissed the tapes as manufactured by the Congress, which was frustrated at its inability to keep its house in order. Now that Gajendra Singh Shekhawat has been named in the FIR and his voice in the audio tape has been recognized by people who know him, why is he holding the post of a union minister? Ajay Maken asked during a press conference in Jaipur. Maken also shot other questions at the BJP, asking why Bhamarlal Sharma and Vishwendra Singh, rebel Congress MLA and former minister of Gehlot cabinet respectively, are being stopped from giving their voice samples. He also questioned whether other big leaders of the central government are involved and why it is the party trying to suppress the names by conducting a probe by the CBI. At least 230 kilograms of gold was smuggled into the country by using some employees of the UAE diplomatic mission since July 2019, said a senior officer familiar with the probe led by the National Investigation Agency into the seizure of 30 kilograms of the yellow metal from the Thiruvananthapuram airport on July 5. At least 13 such consignments came to the country in 1 year, and they all passed without any check due to diplomatic immunity. Some of them were heavier than the latest consignment, which weighed 70 kg. We also probing some events organized by state government departments, the official said on Sunday. All these consignments landed in Thiruvananthapuram. The NIA has arrested 4 persons, while the customs have nabbed 13 people so far in connection with the gold smuggling case. The official also said that people whose names have cropped up during the questioning of the accused will be summoned. This includes Chief Minister Pinarayi Vijayan's former secretary M. Shivshankar and the government's former IT fellow Arun Balchandran. Last week, the Customs Department had grilled Shivshankar for 9 hours. Investigators are also likely to question a state minister whose number appeared in the call list of second accused Swapna Suresh, which was leaked to the media. Meanwhile, there are reports from Dubai that the third accused in the case, Faisal Farid, was arrested and will be extradited soon. The NIA had earlier requested Interpol issue a blue corner notice against him. The NIA has accused him for being a key operative in the smuggling racket. Farid, who hails from Thrissur, reportedly runs a gym and a garage in Dubai. The Income Tax Department, which implemented faceless tax assessment from October 7 last year, has randomly selected 58,319 cases for scrutiny in the first phase and already resolved 7,116 of those, two Finance Ministry officials said. The objective of the faceless assessment is to completely eliminate physical contact between the taxpayer and the taxman to make tax administration objective, transparent and corruption free, they said, requesting anonymity. The faceless assessment system has been a game changer in the arena of direct taxation. It has empowered the taxpayers and has, as a foremost mechanism, altered the facades and the perception of overall tax administration in India, an official said. The official said this is the future of direct tax administration in India, with automated and random allocation of income tax assessment cases without human interface at any stage. The second official said 7,116 assessment cases have been already disposed of and assessment orders issued without any additions in the first phase. In 291 cases, additions are proposed and the cases have been sent to the risk management unit. The faceless system was first proposed by the Prime Minister Narendra Modi in 2017. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman announced it in her first budget speech on July 5, 2019 and subsequently launched the system on October 7, 2019. It's time for a short break. We'll join you in a short while.
Vex up the fun with the cooler number one. Take a change go more fun, unte cooler number one. Take a don't run from the sun, unte Kingston number one. पहली नजर में हो गया मैं दीवाना 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 इतना सुंदर जैसे कोई सपना सुहाना मैं दीवाना दीवाना
कचारिया टाइल्स, जो देखे वो दीवाना।
Welcome back to K News and thank you for watching. Let's continue the streak of news. Germany pledged 3 billion euros at a meeting of G20 finance ministers to help the world's poorest countries, the finance ministry said on Saturday. The funds will be made available as long-term loans for the International Monetary Fund's Poverty Reduction and Growth Trust. IMF Managing Director Kristalina Georgieva welcomed Germany's generous pledge and urged other donors to follow suit. In April, IMF officials said they had received pledges of a combined $11.7 billion from Australia, Japan, Canada, France and Britain to replenish the PRGT. Spain has also contributed. The United States has been noticeably absent from the relief drive. US Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin told the IMF's steering committee in April that Washington was exploring contribution to both facilities but gave no details on the amount or timing of such a contribution. With the funds, low-income countries can receive greatly discounted loans and bridge liquidity bottlenecks, the German finance ministry said. It added that Germany will provide a total of 8.77 billion euros for international aid measures in 2020 and 2021. The British government asked Japan to help build its 5G wireless networks without UAE technologies, citing NEC Corp and Fujitsu Limited as potential alternative suppliers. British officials met with their counterparts in Tokyo on Thursday, 2 days after Britain ordered UAE equipment purged from its 5G networks by the end of 2027, the Nikkei said without citing sources. The move reflects Britain's effort to bring in new equipment suppliers to foster competition and help reduce costs for the country's wireless carriers. British Digital Minister Oliver Dowden last week said Britain was working with its allies to foster stronger rivals to UAE, naming firms from Finland, Sweden, South Korea and Japan. India's COVID-19 case fatality rate is progressively falling and is currently at 2.49%, which is one of the lowest in the world, the Union Health Ministry said on Sunday, crediting efficient clinical management of hospitalized cases for it. There are 29 states and union territories with a case fatality rate lower than India's average, with 5 of them having a CFR of 0 and 14 having fatality rate of less than 1%. The focused efforts from the center, states and UT governments on efficient clinical management of hospitalized cases have ensured that India's case fatality rate has fallen below 2.5%, the ministry said. From 2.82% over a month earlier, India's COVID-19 case fatality rate declined to 2.72% on July 10 and has further reduced to 2.49% presently. Under the guidance of the center, the state and UT governments have ramped up testing and hospital infrastructure by combining public and private sector efforts, the ministry said. Manipur, Nagaland, Sikkim, Mizoram, Andaman and Nicobar Islands have 0 case fatality rate. In a latest development in Rajasthan, Chief Minister Ashok Gehlot on Saturday met Governor Kalraj Mishra hours after 2 MLAs of a regional party that withdrew support from the Congress government announced that they will back the administration. Governor Kalraj Mishra on Saturday met Chief Minister Ashok Gehlot in his official residence. It was a courtesy meeting. Mr. Gehlot informed the governor about the measures taken by the state government against the coronavirus pandemic. The meeting lasted 45 minutes. The governor's office said in a Hindi statement. Mr. Pilot and Mr. Gehlot have always had differences, but the matter boiled after the former Deputy Chief Minister was served a notice to join probe linked to the alleged conspiracy to topple the Rajasthan government. Mr. Pilot soon went incommunicado, the Congress had alleged, along with a number of MLAs, endangering Mr. Gehlot's government. His team had later claimed he has the support of 30 MLAs, enough to topple the government. Mr. Gehlot, however, says he has 109 MLAs, much more than the majority mark. On Saturday, he said 2 MLAs of a regional party BTP that earlier withdrew support from the Congress announced that they will back the administration. A coronavirus ward at a hospital in western Uttar Pradesh's Bareilly was flooded with rainwater after a pipeline installed on the ceiling suddenly burst on Saturday afternoon. Dramatic visuals of the incident, filmed on a mobile phone by a patient inside the ward, showed heavy stream water falling from a large hole in the ceiling. After the video of the incident went viral on social media, Bareilly's Joint Magistrate Ishan Pratap Singh said that the incident occurred at a private medical college functioning as COVID-19 hospital due to a plumbing failure during the construction work going on at the hospital. He added that the pipeline has been repaired and the patients have been shifted to a different ward. We got to know about the video late night. This is a private medical college where our staff too is posted. As soon as we got the news, we found out there was a plumbing failure because of construction activity leading to rainwater coming in, Mr. Singh said. We got the patients shifted immediately and things are normal now. This is not the first case of improper management of COVID-19 wards and hospital in the state. A central team is visiting Bihar today to assess the state's coronavirus preparedness amid the pandemic. The visit by the three-member team led by Joint Secretary Love Agrawal comes amid allegations of poor handling of the COVID-19 situation by the Nitish Kumar government. The state reported over 1,700 cases on Saturday. Several videos have been circulating on social media in which people are complaining about inadequate facilities and negligence at state-run hospitals. In Katihar, a patient reportedly died at a hospital after the hospital staff failed to provide him oxygen cylinder. RJD leader Tejasvi Yadav, who has been attacking Nitish Kumar over the handling of the crisis, today shared a video of people complaining about the lack of doctors and nurses at a hospital in Siwan. A woman is seen lying unattended at a hospital bed as her attendants call for help. There is no doctor to attend to us. They just came, gave injection and left. A voice in the background is heard saying in the video. Almost all the beds in the ward were empty. The Ram Mandir Trust, set upon the Supreme Court's directions to facilitate the construction of a temple for Lord Ram in Uttar Pradesh's Ayodhya, has invited Prime Minister Narendra Modi for the groundbreaking ceremony for the construction of the temple in Ayodhya, either on August 3 or 5. Both auspicious dates, a spokesperson said on Saturday. Saturday was the trust's final formal meeting in Ayodhya, and the members deliberated upon a possible date for beginning of temple construction, already delayed because of the coronavirus pandemic. Mr. Modi had announced the formation of the Shri Ram Janmabhoomi Tirth Kshetra Trust on February 5. We have suggested two auspicious dates, August 3 and 5, for the Prime Minister's visit based on calculations of movements of stars and planets. Mahant Kamal Nayan Das, the spokesperson of Trust President Nitya Gopal Das, was quoted in November 2019. The Supreme Court ruled that the then disputed land in Ayodhya would be given to a government-run trust for the building of a temple for Lord Ram, and Muslims will be given a 5-acre suitable plot elsewhere in the district. The landmark verdict in the case, which had a religious and political flashpoint over the country for decades, was passed by the 5-judge Constitution Bench unanimously amid appeals for peace by political and religious leaders and heightened security across the country. That's all for now. Keep watching K News. This is Hardik Trivedi taking your leave. Be alert, be positive, be safe.